Are there things you know you need to do, but you're putting it off because you're waiting for the moment where you feel a little bit more motivated? Now, here's a little secret. Motivation is a load of rubbish, and I'm here to tell you why. Hi, I'm Callie, your go-to life and mindset coach, and I'm here to support you on this crazy journey we call life. So right now you're probably thinking, how do I get this stuff done when I just don't feel motivated to do it? Or maybe you're thinking, I'll just put it off till later and I need to feel a little bit more motivated before I do it. So I'm going to do all of these other unnecessary things first because I know that there's this other thing that I need to do, but these just feel a little bit more important now. I'm going to build that motivation up and I'll do it later when I'm in a better mindset. Now, the truth is, if you're waiting to feel motivated to do something, chances are it might never happen. The right time might never actually come. Because in the time that you're pondering over whether to do something or not, that period of time where you're just telling yourself, I'm really not motivated to do this right now, you're actually giving yourself reasons as to why you shouldn't be doing it. So in that moment where you're pondering over whether to do something, you're building up that motivation, you're giving your brain power, your mindset, a really big opportunity to show yourself all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. Now, we're creatures of habit, and I think I've mentioned this one or two times before. And when we're trying to change ourselves or push ourselves into a direction where we know we don't really want to do it, it's going to make us feel uncomfortable, our brain is going to think of 1,000,001 reasons why we shouldn't do it. Because all our brain wants to do in terms of survival instincts and this old brain that we have, we just want to feel comfortable. We don't want to do things that are going to challenge us. We don't want to do things that are going to make us feel that we have to put the effort in. Our brain will find lots and lots of reasons for us not to do something if it's going to make us feel uncomfortable. And in that moment where you're pushing it back and you're thinking, I'll do it later when I'm more motivated, all you're doing really in that time frame is giving your brain lots of opportunities to think of all of the reasons why you should just keep putting it off and eventually not do it anyway. Our brain would rather keep us in a state of feeling comfortable and familiar rather than putting us in a situation that's ultimately going to make us uncomfortable and take us out of that comfort zone that it just loves to be in. Now, the key way around this isn't to wait until we feel motivated. That time probably isn't going to happen. What you need to do is to get rid of that thinking time. That time that you're giving yourself of whether to do something or not, that time where you're just putting it off and off and off because you're thinking, I'll feel motivated a little bit later. That time that you're giving your brain to think of all those reasons why not to do something. Stop negotiating with your mind. Now, psychologists have done loads of research on this, and they've found that we are one of two people. We either have a bias towards thinking or we have a bias towards action. Now, to put it in real simple terms, you're basically either a thinker or a doer. Now, if you're more of a thinker and you have a bias towards thinking, it's easier for you to come up with tons of reasons why not to do something. You negotiate so much with yourself that your brain comes up with all of these different excuses and reasons why not to feel motivated to do something. Now, if we have a shift and move towards that bias towards action and we become more of a doer rather than a thinker, we basically remove that middleman in our brain that is, in effect, the negotiator. Lack of motivation is therefore no longer an issue because you're taking action whether motivation is there or not. At the end of the day, there will always be things that we love to do that are pushed by passion and drive, and we just naturally feel really motivated to do it because we enjoy it. But then we have also things that are less favourable to us that require a lot more push and a lot more motivation to do them. And there are then things that are much more less favourable to us that require a lot more of a push. Basically, they require an awful lot more effort from us. But if we know that these things are going to be the things that push us in the direction of where we want to be, they're going to eventually give us the life that we really want to experience and live out for ourselves, we need to learn to take away that time that we're giving ourselves to be able to negotiate with our brain. Because when we're negotiating with our brain, we're letting that lack of motivation take over. with all of those excuses that our brain loves to find for ourselves. So how do we tackle that time in between? How do we discipline ourselves to be able to take action and be a doer rather than a thinker? Now, the amazing Mel Robbins, she's an absolutely insane life coach. She's actually come up with the technique of the 5-second rule, which I started to implement it a lot into my own practice and my own life experiences. And I'm telling you now, it's been an absolute game changer for me. Hats off to Mel, she is incredible. Now, the whole idea behind the 5-second rule is in that moment where you've decided, I know I need to do this, you take away that negotiation in your mind. You eliminate the thinker and you give yourself 5 seconds to take action. You literally know you need to do something, you count down from 5, and then you do it. As you're engaged in that countdown, you're in effect making a decision already. You're already deciding that by the time you reach the end of that 5 seconds, you're going to take action. You know you need to just do it and get on with it. You're no longer negotiating with yourself. In that time frame where you would naturally, especially if you have a bias towards thinking, in that time frame where you are naturally thinking about whether to do something and building up that I need to feel motivated type scenario, you're occupying your mind with counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. Your cognitions are already thinking towards action. By the time you hit 1, you're going to be taking action. You've already made that decision. Whether motivation is there or not, it doesn't matter. Chances are it's not going to be there, but you've made that decision to take action in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No thinking, no negotiation, still no motivation, granted, but I'm hoping you're starting to see now that motivation isn't the answer. It's actually a load of crap, to be honest. If you want change and you want to get stuff done, waiting to feel motivated will not get you there. Discipline yourself into taking action. In those moments where you're just woken up and the bed's all nice and cozy and comfy and you just don't want to get out of bed, you're so close to hitting the snooze button, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get out of bed. Take action. You know you need to do that workout or to go out on that run. Really can't be asked. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. You need to send that message or have that awkward conversation. Don't ponder over it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. Just do it. Don't give yourself that thinking power and that time with that middleman, the negotiator in your brain, because that's the stumbling block you're hitting. You can think of 1,000,001 reasons not to do something in that time that you really don't feel motivated, but just don't give yourself that opportunity. Having that life that you really want for yourself, the life that you know is going to make you happy, is built from just one decision. Honestly, the 5-second rule completely changed my lifestyle, my level of discipline with my mind, and also the amazing opportunities that I've experienced in my life since. If you're lacking motivation, just do it anyway. Don't give your brain a chance to think. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.